Hey Jay, let's talk.
Is life truly meaningless? The life that we live, does it have meaning? Does it have value? Do it have substance? Yes, your life have substance. Your life have meaning. If you're a non-Christian, how could you have meaning? How could you actually have purpose in this life? Purpose is what drives us. The Bible talks about how we have meaning. Everybody has a meaning in this life. Life is not meaningless. Life is not this atheistic worldview where you're just gonna live through this life, die, pass away, and have no value in this life besides being worm food. But you're more than worm food. And that should resonate in your heart and that should resonate within your spirit that you're more than worm food, but that you have meaning. You have a destination to choose, whether the path of meaningless or the path that has meaning. And I suggest you choose a path that has meaning. When you see people today and they get caught up in so much things, and when they don't do things of value, it makes them lack meaning in their life. So, for example, when somebody commits sin, let's just say lusting or perversion or murder or whatever the case may be, they lose meaning in what God intended for them to have. Everybody has some God-given purpose, a God-given meaning in this world to be used to help and love others, and most of all, to love the Lord your God with all your heart, soul, mind, and strength. But this two facts alone allows us to act as human. It makes us in this life have meaning. When you love the Lord your God with all your heart, soul, mind, and strength, and when you love your neighbor as yourself, you start to find purpose in what you do. You start to, for example, if you make food for people or you're a chef, you're able to serve others with your hands. So everybody has a meaning. If you have, like I said, this atheistic worldview, you're doomed to destruction because there's no happiness, there's no peace, there's no actual real joy. There's none of that because, like I said, once you die, that's it. You're done for. There's no afterlife. There's no eternal peace. There's no living forever. There is no nothing. And it's a daunting fact if you have this atheistic worldview. In this atheistic worldview, there is no sense of morality. There's no sense of purpose. There's no sense of meaning. There's no sense of justice. There's no sense of doing right. There's no purpose to do right if everything is just through random million years of mutation. Then nothing has value. Everything's just going through the motion. And you're not just going through the motion, you are something of substance. So don't allow the things of this world, because this world is, I'm gonna be quite frank with you, it's an atheistic worldview where it just wants us to be consumed by the things of this world and just consumed by ourselves. We just get so consumed by ourselves that we forget what actually matters in this world. And I think this is one of the schemes of the enemy. The schemes of this enemy is to make us dwell on this. We're such an atheistic worldview. I don't care what nobody say. They like to say we're a Christian nation, the United States, but this whole world is atheistic in a way because now it's trying to devalue human beings, trying to give a quantity that humans are just numbers and don't actually have quality. So I don't want you guys to fall for this lie that life is meaningless. When somebody tells you that, you tell them to get away from you because you know why? Your life has meaning. Your life has substance. Like the scripture says, you were made in the image of God. That alone speaks of substance. This has value. I know I keep repeating these same words, but until you realize that you are worth it, you will never know. So I'm telling you today that you are worth it, that you have meaning, that you have purpose. And I was just looking at news and scientists. They're trying to find new ways to make humans not valuable. They're trying to find ways, statistics and numbers. And when we throw and toss people into wars and just say, oh, there's only 5 casualties. I just want you guys to put this into mind. When you don't know the names of people that are dying, you just visit or see them as pure statistic, as pure numbers. But people are more than numbers. One person dying is a lot. But when we see, oh, only 100 people died in a war, right? It doesn't seem like a lot in the perspective of a war, but that's an individual. We're looking from the wrong perspective. We're looking at the wrong lens. We should see them as people created in the image of God. But to be honest, I think I rest my case.
All right, that's enough for now.